Morning all, welcome to another Sunday Q&A. We're in the Shedbury again because I have a tendency to, I've been getting up a little bit later. I don't know if it's because it's winter. And of course then I get up, then the family's up, so I don't do it in the house because they're in the house. Right, what we got today? Width restrictions. Steve Davis, get yourself a TomTom 620 Pro. He said if you get that, you can set the restrictions, and he said they're brilliant. He said you won't look back. And I like Steve, he comments all the time. Thanks, mate, do appreciate it. I've looked them up, Steve. They're £250. And the truth of the matter is, like I said, it's my birthday coming up, and I might do it. The thing is, I've got this thing about stuff, which is, to me, it's all about utility. This is what economics, when I was a kid, I did this thing, economics, and it says utility is the amount you actually get out of something. So, for example, if you buy a pair of boots for work and you spend £100 in those boots, but you wear those boots all day every day for like 2 years, that kind of works out at like 20p a day, 10p a day, so that's good. If you if you buy yourself a brand new pair of shoes or a dress to go out in, not commenting here at all, but you do £100 on that dress, you wear it once and you can't wear it again because everyone's seen you in it, then that's £100 for one hit. That hurts me. Now from that point of view, getting myself as a TomTom 620 Pro, I'll probably pay the 2.5, and then I'm going to use it all day, every day, well, for 5 days a week, for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So it is an investment, and I'm thinking of it, but it's still £250. So I'm still recovering from my market trader life, mate. I'm still sorting myself out. Maybe one day, maybe for my birthday, maybe one day I'll have a better day, or maybe it'll come up cheap in a sale, and I'll go, oh, hang on a second, Black Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because it goes on for like two years now. They've got one. Oh, look. It's only 1.5. It's only 2. I'll have a go. So anyway, but yeah, thanks for the advice. When I actually manage to pull the dough out, I'll let you know how it goes. Right, this is a very interesting question actually from Andrew Broadband. When you accept a job on the CX, whose terms and conditions comply? Now, I've thought this myself, and I don't know, because I've seen them before, and all the terms and conditions. And we don't pay waiting time for the first half hour, and then after that we pay waiting time for £5 an hour. And I'm thinking, well, it says on mine, we get the first 20 minutes free when you get there. You've got to have loading time. After that, if it looks like it's going over, we click start. Always click on site when you get there. We had one this week. One of the drivers turned up, shall I bless him. He's a new guy. He was there for an hour and 15 minutes, but he didn't click on site for the first 3/4 of an hour. So when we phoned in and we went, they said, well, he's only clicked there. And then you've got a leg to stand on. If you get on site and the guy says it's not ready, ring the shipper instantly, say, look, it's not ready. I'm sure it's not going to be a problem. Then, if they haven't loaded you within the 20 minutes, ring them again and go, right, it's 20 minutes, I've been sitting here, it's still not ready, we're into waiting time now. And then, in my experience, you negotiate. That thing about terms and conditions is, it's an idea. So I say, I charge £25 an hour waiting time, or sometimes we break it down and we say, look, if it, on the smaller motors, £5 every 15 minutes. If they say, well, we only pay £15 an hour waiting time, you can go, really? Why'd you book me then? Because it says in my terms and conditions £25 an hour waiting time. And I think what tends to happen most of the time is you'll talk to the shipper will talk to you, the shipper will talk to the customer, you come to an arrangement. Like I say, try and keep it upbeat, try and keep it flexible, be polite. We had a bit of grief this week with one of our drivers, I ain't going to go into that. Yeah, the rudest man. We took him on, he'd done 3 jobs. On the 3rd job he was so rude, we sacked him on the spot. But I thought I might have it coming on me on Monday, but hey, this is the game I'm learning, isn't it? But be polite, always be polite. Listen to me, guys, you don't want my grief. And sort something out. Talk to them, see what they say. At the end of the day, human beings. That's how we get on in the world. We could be like ants. We work together, we could build great big structures. What else? Yeah, so Andrew, I don't know whose terms and conditions apply. I think it's negotiable. I think basically you talk to them, they talk to you, you sort something out. Normally you reach an agreement. Like I say, I don't understand what I'm doing here. I'm learning. Anyone out there who knows any better, please tell me. Let me know. I'll gladly pass it on. What have we got? John Dean Logren. I'm scribbling right, and I should write clearer. He says, who doesn't know the size of their van, mate? You would be surprised. Again, some of our drivers, and I'm ringing them up and saying, like, Richard, are you short wheelbase or medium wheelbase? Oh, I don't know. So, mate, get a tape measure, measure your van from the bulkhead to the doors, and then You want width. You want about 6 different measurements. You want the back length. You want the back width. You want the height. Then you want the doors, because the doors are going to be slightly smaller. So say, for example, your van is 2 metres by 2 metres by 2 metres. It'd be a weird-shaped van, but it would be. But the doors are actually only 1.8 by 1.8. If you pick up a cube that's 2 metres cubed, you can't get it through the doors. So you need to know your door width. You need to know your length, your breadth, your height. You also want to know your diagonals, particularly with Lutons, because sometimes 5 metre loads come up. Say like a 5 metre print. I can take 5 metres, so it saves them having to put it on a 7.5 tonner, because I can go into the Luton, which is the name of the box above the cab. That's why they're called Lutons. And I've also measured from the bulkhead to my tail, because my width of my bed is 4 metres, but from my bulkhead to my tail is 4.3 metres. So I've taken 4.2 metre loads, and I've sold them. I say, look, I can take it. Can't shut the back door, but the tail's up, it's safe, and normally you can pull the shutter down a bit so it doesn't even look any different, and it's safe and secure. Well, it ain't going to go nowhere. It fits in our van, doesn't it? So, but yeah, you'd be amazed. And also, again, I've had drivers going, well, it's like, well, it says medium wheelbase. What does it mean? Now, the way I do this is this. Small van, that's basically your Connect type van. That's your sort of your tiny little van. So it's practically a car in fairness. It's normally a box. Short wheelbase I put on around 1 point something metres, not about 1.4. Medium, and that's your midi van, and your Connect's around about that, I think. Medium wheelbase 2 metres, long wheelbase 3 metres, extra long wheelbase 4 metres, Luton 4 metres. That's the way I do it. Now, that's in my head. Once again, please tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm learning, and I'm out here, just telling people what I found. But at the same time, there's a load of people out there know a lot better than me. If you know better than me, please let me know. I'm happy to be educated, and of course I'll pass it on. Right, what else we got? Jason Palmer. He says, could you start in a car? You could start in a car, Jason. I wouldn't really recommend it, because, like I said, although most small van jobs you could do in a car, it says small van. And if you turn up in a car, some people might go, what's that? So what I would recommend, if you have to get a car, don't get a car. I suppose if you've got a family, you've got to get a car. But, I mean, you can pick small vans up for relatively cheap, which I think is why a lot of people run in a small van. I personally recommend running in a bigger van, because you do the same distance, the X's aren't that much dearer, and you get a lot more money. We're finding we're getting a lot more sort of cargo-y type stuff, rather than small van. Or we're trying to focus more on the cargo stuff, because that's where the money is. As the load gets bigger, the price goes up. So the bigger you can ship, I mean, don't get me wrong, I once had an operator's licence. If I still had it, I'd probably drive in 7.5 tonne right now. And we're also looking into the idea of maybe, and also Darren out there, I know he's doing the same thing. Hello Darren, hope you're right, mate. Maybe getting an Arctic on the road. But this is forward thinking. At the same time, I'm still learning as I go. But you could start in a small car. I would recommend, if you could scratch the dough together, to get a small van. There's a lot of small van jobs on the CX. There's not that many that say car. So there you go. Right, we've got Nicholas, who's based in Devon, who wants to start. Will drive anywhere. And we've also got another guy, Giles Rowbottom, who's thinking about coming back from Spain, moving to Hull. Small van, again, looking to make about a 1 a day. Is it possible? In a small van, you can make a 1 a day. Yeah, that shouldn't be too tricky. That's about 2 or 3 jobs, or a decent, particularly if you take it on an average. As for Devon, there's not a lot of work comes out of Devon. You don't really get the work until you hit kind of Bristol, Port Talbot way. But having said that, we'll drive anywhere is the answer. Because what you do is Monday morning, take your first job out, and then where you end up, or we'll try and get a job the night before. And if you end up in a bad area, like say for example you end up in Northumberland, drive down to Blackburn, Preston, Manchester way. If you end up in the middle of Devon, either drive up to kind of Liverpool, Ellesmere Port, or drive down to Cardiff way, keep up for the night, maybe get yourself a job on. If you're prepared to tramp, it's a lot easier. If you're prepared to tramp, you get a lot less dead miles, and you've got a lot more chance of making it pay. If you want to come home every night, it's not so tricky. I'm very lucky, because as it turns out, I live in one of the best spots in the entire country, where they've got Milton Keynes is kind of like the hot spot, because you've got Milton Keynes, Northampton, Kettering, Luton, Dunstable, St Albans, all around the 25. And also I have the advantage that because I've been doing it a little while, people ring me up and they go, Pete, you're free in the morning. It's basically you want areas where there's a massive industrial estates. Oh, it's been Tesco's in the room. Another delivery driver just turned up. Hello, mate. He's got a nice new Mercedes. I love them. They're like starships. You know, they're brilliant. Great. But yeah, if you're prepared to tramp, can you make it pay? You guys both, neither of you seem to have particularly scary expectations. It's not like I want to start on the exchange and I want to make £1,000, £1,500 a week. Yeah, get real, mate. If everyone wanted, you can do it. I can do it. But I pull long hours. I've got a big van. And a lot of people I know have come on and they're kind of moan because it's not what they expected to. We've got a few of our drivers and they're going, well, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. And I go, yeah, but you don't want to work. The job's there, I can't do it. I can't. Well, if you don't work, you don't get paid. So anyway, again, I'm learning. What else we got going to go on? Rockstar 1996, good name. High insurance because he's young. Yeah, that is going to stuff you. The only thing that I've said, and I've said it before, and I will be doing the video as soon as they've kind of ratified me, and I'm going to have to work out banners and cards and all this kind of nonsense. But because that way I might get a few quid out of it. I'm up to $105 from doing these videos now. I had to verify it. I'll let you know as and when I get paid. Once again, give up my Sunday every morning. Well, in fairness, I do it because I want to do it. But I'm always been transparent with you guys. When it happens, I'll let you know. And thank you. Like I say, take the wife out for dinner. Very nice. What I would recommend is try Business Choice Direct. Give them your first port of call. See what they say. There is a video on how you get to them on a website further on down. Failing that, try a couple of the others. Get just get a price comparison. In my mind, they're your best bet. If you mention my name, apparently you do get some kind of discount, and apparently I do get some kind of kickback. But that's early stages. It's up to you. Give it a bash. That I would say that's your best bet. They're the ones that are sanctioned by the Courier Exchange. So if you go on the Courier Exchange, it makes sense to keep it all in house, I think. Right. What else we got? Brandon George made the point, and I did ask this question a little while ago, and I did find out the answer, and I forgot to tell you. If you get the fuel cards, you know, like the ones we use, Key Fuels and the BP ones, don't fill up with the premium diesel. Doesn't count. It's a shame because it'll have all the lovely cleaners and all that kind of stuff, make your van go faster. But the premium diesel, they have no take over the premium diesel, only on the normal diesel. So if you're on a motorway service station, you fill up at 155 with the normal diesel, it stands you between 1.4 and 1.7 at the moment before that. If you fill up with a premium diesel, it's going to cost you 155. You'll have a heart attack. So don't, lovely though it would be, generic diesel for us guys. If you want to put the cleaners in, you can. I did it once. Well, I don't know what's happening there, so I just left it. Okay, thanks for your multiple inputs this week, some of which I did find a tad confusing, but it's always good to have the input. He said travel with a dog. And this brought up the question, actually, we might do a video on this or something like that. Yeah. Does anyone travel with animals out there? There's no reason why you can't, I don't suppose, particularly if it's well trained. Kind of like the idea, a bit of company, me and the dog. I can get a lot of exercise, but I suppose you can stop off from time to time between jobs, take it for a walk around the park. I don't know if anyone travels with dogs, cats, budgies, goldfish. Goldfish probably not so much because when you go around corners it peels out. But yeah, if you do travel with a pet, let me know. I'll be curious to know. I don't know if I also do wonder if you get to certain sites and you go, you can't come in with that, mate. I'll be curious to know. Anyone travel with animals out there? Yeah, that's that really. But yeah, okay, thanks for your input as always. Cheers, bud. The Rip Daddy is starting this week. Good luck, my friend. I hope it goes well for you. We've done Charles Robot. Martin Clowndale. Yeah, he said that thing about a small van. He turned up in a small van job, and it wasn't a small van. So it filled his van, and he obviously had 2 jobs. He had another one booked, so presumably he wasn't at the co-load and all that kind of stuff. If you tell him, you can do it. If you time it, you can do it. If you don't tell him, I don't recommend it. It just gives you an awful lot of grief and a lot of heart attack. But he said he had to cancel the next job. And he did. In that situation, I would ring up and say, right, I've turned up. It says small van. It's not small van. I'm going to have to cancel my next job. You're going to have to make up for this. And then presumably you would say that to the shipper. The shipper will say to the customer, you said it was small van. It's not small van. It's not going to cost you this. It's going to cost you this. And then you sort it out between you. Like I say, that's how it kind of works. And finally, load of the week goes to Yorkshireman's Daily Grind, who took a fake gravestone to Greenford and also one to Luton, presumably for a film set. So I don't know what film it was for, but yeah, these are the kind of interesting things you get to do. And of course, you got to my hometown of Luton. I hope they looked after you, and I hope they were friendly. I've always found them friendly. So yeah, Don't live there no more. I'm living in a little village just outside. My entire family moved out here. I still go back from time to time, meet the boys, go for a drink in the Bricklayers Arms, that kind of thing. It still feels like home. Anyway, that's it. That's it for Sunday. I'll do some more of this next week. Once again, thanks for listening. It's a wet day. Sounds like an idea for a Sunday roast down a pub, doesn't it? So, hope you're all well. And coming into Christmas now, should start getting busy. So, take care, take money.